Okay, so it's 3:30 on the 14th. I'm so glad my daughter gets home today. I feel bad too. King didn't eat last night. Well, I mean, it's not really morning. It is morning for Stella. She already ate at 2:30. But King didn't want to eat again. But anyways, I'm so glad my daughter's going to be home today. It's like, fuck, man. I didn't even see it at all coming to get sick. At all. I haven't been sick in so long. All the time, like, I'll have, like, certain weird symptoms and stuff. And I'll, like, I'll tell my mom, I got the stomach flu. She'll be like, oh, you're sick. And I'll be like, no, I'm poisoned. I got the allergies. I'm allergic to poison. And this is a whole nother level. This is, like, a whole fucking nother level. It's like, I don't even know. Because she tells me all the time, oh, you're sick. I can't even tell you. Like, I bet you twice a week we have this conversation. And I'm always like, nope, I'm allergic to poison. And then I said, I don't have sickness. But this time, yeah, I've got sickness. And what's weird is, so on the flight back, my daughter and I, we ended up having the whole row. Luckily, it was so fucking cool. But so we didn't have anybody sitting right next to us. And then so we got back, and then I came here to dog sit, and she went home. So she's in Spokane, I'm in Yakima. And the exact same day we got sick. So the same day I got sick, and I was talking to her, and she's like, she's sick. And so she got a test, and it said that she has the sickness, the COVID. And so, I don't know. I know there's tons of false positives and stuff. I think it's just meant to say yeah. But, I mean, for anybody who's working, it's like, you get 5 days off. And, but I had told the groomer, because they're older and stuff, and her husband's just getting out of surgery, and he's the one who was in that horrible car wreck that I talked about a few weeks ago, months ago or something. And, so he's been in surgeries and stuff like that. And so he just got another surgery, and then she just had a grandbaby. I think it's like 2 weeks old now. And so she was like, oh, we can't afford to get sick over here, so just stay off all this week. Don't come this week. And then we'll do some dogs next week. I'll move the other dogs from this week to next week. So, so I'm glad of that, because, like, my head is just killing me, and it, like, trying to bend over and wash off, I'm like, oh my God. And the nausea, and just the body aches, and the what is the other thing? Body aches, nausea, headache. I don't remember. I feel out of it. But I slept all day yesterday. I was so fucking sick. And so I slept all day yesterday. Every time the dogs were asleep, I was asleep. And then I was like, I don't know, it was weird because they were sleeping so much. But, so we slept all day. I had to still get up and walk, and it was horrible. Oh my God, I can't even, I never would have even thought. I never would have thought I would get sick and then be over here alone with these dogs and having to go walk them all several times a day. It's like, this is so fucked, man. And then at least they have like a patio out back, and my dogs will go out there and pee, and then I just have to wash it off. So my dogs will go out that door and go pee, but they're not going to poop out there or anything, so I have to go walk them around for that. And then they've always got to do pee in, and as soon as you get a dog out the door, they want to go and check everything out, sniff everything. It's like so tedious. Fuck, man. And then so anyways, the thing that us both getting sick at the same time makes me think it had to be something on the plane, because I asked my sister. She didn't get sick. I've been talking to my brother. He didn't get sick. So it was just her and I that got sick, and we were on that flight together. And so, I don't know. I swear to God, they spray this shit in the fucking plane or something. I don't get it. It's not like I'm, like, up close to anybody. Only people I was up close to was family, with hugging and stuff like that. But nobody was sick there. And I think if anybody was sick, they wouldn't even come over because of my other brother being so, sick. So they're not going to come over and make him sick while he's fighting cancer. So anyways, it had to be off the plane because that is where we both, and then it was the exact same day we got sick. So I don't know, but it's fuckery. I swear to God, it's such fuckery. And then I don't know, just this whole week has been hellacious, so fucking hellacious. But and my mom found out, like, what I said, oh no, you can't, you just need to rest and then come home. And it's like, no, my sister-in-law is meeting me over at the property. She's already in Idaho. I've got to go over there. It's just a couple hours drive more than getting back home to that home. So I'm just going to do that drive, and then hopefully tomorrow morning I'll even feel better. We'll see. After I finish up with this, I'm going to probably, well, I don't know when I'm going to WALK them. It's going to be coming up here pretty quick. They could interrupt me at any moment. And then I'm going to try and sleep before they all get here. And then I'm supposed to be going over to have birthday cake for my granddaughter because it's her birthday today. This evening, and I don't know, they may say, oh, just don't come, because I was over there with them all that day, and then come home, and then that's the evening I got sick. So I don't know if I was spreading germs on all of them. I had no clue that I was going to be getting sick. It just like hit me out of the blue. It was so fucking fuckery. And then, and like I said, I haven't been sick in so long. I mean, all the way back to when I was a nurse. And I got my brain injury in 2009. Let me think. Because I was sick in 2014 or 2015. Because I was super sick. This is when I went off of all the farm answers. So the farm is, you know what I'm saying. So they're, little relief. Then, because I was on 18 of those motherfuckers. And they just pile on more. Every symptom you have, oh, you just need this, oh, you just need that. And I was so sick, I thought, well, my mom has even said a bunch of times that she thought I was dying. I thought I was dying. And I still think that could have also been when I had the Hep C. But anyways, I was super sick in 2014. And then it seems like it was all the way back in 2009. I was obviously sick when I got my brain injury. But before that, I had been sick a couple times. I just hardly ever get sick. This is fucked, man. So fucked. Like I'm a wuss too. I'm just like, take me out. I can't do it. So, anyways, I'll just be glad that they'll be back today and then start going with the next thing. And then I'm glad also that I don't have, once I get back to my mom's, I don't have to do anything until next week. Then there's a couple appointments, days that I gotta go. But that little bit of extra money will help me with the moving and stuff, so it'll be fine. But we'll see, because there was a couple things I was gonna talk about that, besides my whining. But I gotta whine. I feel like shit. So, and it's hard to sleep when you have a headache. That's why I gotta go. Stella started whining. I was already laying there like with my head hurting, and so she started whining like at 1. So I got up and let them out to go pee and stuff and laid back down, but I couldn't go back to sleep because my head hurt too bad. And then at 2, she started whining again, so we got up. So anyways, oh, also, I don't have, I'll show you though later, but I got these pills that are oregano oil and black seed oil. I think I talked about them before. It's a mix, both these things in this pill, and give them two a day. I swear to God, if she had some kind of infection, like UTI or some stinky thing that was going on with her vagina, that I think those pills are helping. So, oh yeah, and also I had some nicotine with me because I had seen a couple of ethical MDs talking about if you're traveling, take nicotine with you, because if you get sick, which is more than likely, which normally I don't ever, but she said put that on and it will clear up. So I did one yesterday and I feel a little bit better today than I did yesterday. And then I put another one on today. So, because I think this one doctor I'd seen talking about it, she was talking about one of her friends got super, super sick when she was traveling. And so she told her to use that, and it took 3 days. So anyways, I have a couple more, so I'm just gonna use those because that's all I got. The groomer was like, oh, you need the horse paste. I was like, well, how many with me? My mom's like, oh, you need the zinc and the vitamin D. Don't have it with me. So, and it's like that kind of thing where I just don't have it in me to even go down to the store. It's like, fuck, dude. Yesterday I ate that, I was so drained and so hungry feeling. I ate one of those turnovers, didn't get sick. Well, now I don't think it was food poisoning or anything, but everything I ate that day is just making me like, oh God, no. Ugh. But that so I had one of those turnovers. And then I was trying to do the fasting and sleeping to kind of make myself, well, and then plus have the nick. But the pouch. Then I went, let's see. Oh, yeah, because at one point when I got up yesterday, at some point, like in the evening, I was like really starving. So I had a couple bites of toast. But I totally believe in the fasting, even if I can't 100%. But I drank a lot of kombucha too. But because your body, needs like to fast so it can break down the sick cells or whatever. So that's the kind of stuff I was using. I was sitting there this morning when my head's just pounding. It's just killing me right now. I was thinking, oh God, if I had some Tylenol, I think I'd take it. But I'm trying to stay away from all of the farm stuff because it just gives you more issues. Even stuff like that is really bad. People, all this over-the-counter stuff, and people think, oh, it's no big deal. I've seen so much stuff now. It says it's a big deal. Even the Tylenol and all that stuff. So I'm just trying to be natural. But I was even thinking, well, I could take some of that black seed oil, oregano. I'd take the black seed oil every day anyways. But the mix with the oregano oil, oh God, even touching my scalp hurts. Oh, God. I'm gonna take a shower though. I'll feel so much better today. But because I feel disgusting. Oh my God. Then the black seed, but then I was like, well, because that's like the strongest antibiotic, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's like that, like bacteria. I don't know. So anyways, if I keep being sick, I might take some of hers, but I think it really is working some kind of magic on her, but we'll see. We'll see. Everything's a we'll see. We'll see. You gotta just try a bunch of different stuff. I can't stress enough about your health and your lifestyle, and taking care of yourself makes all the difference. But you can't do anything about like whatever the hell. I just can't figure it out. It goes through my mind like, how in the world did I get sick? Who would I, like, it's weird. Like, it used to be, somebody have to sneeze in your face and get you sick. Now it's just like, you walk through a crowd and you're sick. And then because there's people who have these on everywhere I've been. And so I don't know. I mean, they're always pushing, there's a sickness, get your things. And I was sitting there yesterday thinking, well, maybe I should have worn one. Maybe I wouldn't be sick right now. Whatever the fuck they're doing, blowing stuff in our face or something. I don't know. It's so weird. So anyways, I get off the wine and stuff. Let me think. Okay, so I saw, one thing is this Charlie incident has created like a revival. It's weird too, because like if everybody was awake, this stuff wouldn't be happening. So it's like sitting on this side of it is like watching mankind come into its own, watching humanity evolve, watching them. It's like this evolution occurring right before our eyes. And so that part's cool. I mean, it is tedious, the whole thing. You want everybody to just wake up and get it. but the watching the development and the unity occurring is it's pretty phenomenal. And so that's cool. Like I've seen a couple of what are those tribes? The ones that do that haiku. Can't think of Maori. Those tribe guys that do those that war. It's like I don't know. It kind of reminds me like these war dance things. I just love it. But they have been doing like a haiku for Charlie. There's fucking vigils, candlelight vigils going all around the globe. Like he was global. He wasn't just America. And then even in some, and it makes you wonder too, of some of this AI, you know, how would we know? It's like North Korea or something, and they're out there chanting in the streets with signs and stuff. We are Charlie, we are. Like everybody is real torn up because, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's super about, oh yeah, and there's, I saw somebody doing this thing talking about these excerpts that have been taken out of like what he has said as being used out of context. Like I'm saying, oh, see, he said, well, you got to lose a few lives in order to be able to have your rights and stuff like that. But I guess it was more in depth of what he was saying. I still find it ironic when somebody is saying, you know, make sure we got to keep these and stuff. And then that's what ends up getting them. But I think that is part of this storyline. Like everything is part of the storyline. That Erica girl, like that whole thing is still so weird. And you start seeing people do breakdowns on that now. But it is. And no, everybody in the comments is like, she doesn't seem like she's grieving. She doesn't seem like she's sad or mourning. Because I don't think he's gone. I think it's a big fucking show. And I don't know if he's going to be out of our life or they're going to resurrect him. I have no idea. You know, if he's out of the storyline, but he's still around somewhere. But yeah, the whole thing is just weird. You can just see, but it's just this movie. It's like this, and it isn't just, I mean, it is to bring us together, to form empathy and compassion, to get humans to care about other people. And then it also is to bring in your own attitude to the surface so you can see yourself. But that's the thing, is there's going to be this switcheroo. There's going to be this lights coming on. There's going to be something that's all of a sudden, if you've ever gone through something, you were so sure about something, and then something else happened, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute. It gives you a whole new perspective. That's what's going to happen. Like they got their attitude here, but something is going to happen that's going to all of a sudden be like, whoa, wait a minute. And that's going to be the hard part. It's because they have to face themselves. They have to have a good hard look at themselves and their attitude. And right now, they just feel justified, make excuses. You know, Donald's a dictator, and yeah. I was just having a whole bunch of things go through my head about that. But anyways, so they're coming at it from a certain perspective, but they just, I mean, their perspective is all skewed. It's all, so anyways, that's going to be kind of in the seeing. Like they're going to see something that they're not seeing yet. And they're all, that's one thing, is they are all paying attention. And this has been the biggest thing through this awakening, is get people's attention. Get their attention, because everybody is just off in la la land. Everybody's out there trying to survive. Everybody's out there in their own little dramas and their own little fucking problems in life. And nobody is paying attention in the world, and that's how they keep the fuckery going. And which, yesterday, I watched this movie. It was Australian. I can't remember the name of it, but it was this Australian movie, and it was this lady shows up at this guy's house. She can't speak English. She's beaten to shit. And so he starts trying to communicate her. It's this whole long drama thing. But basically is she was sold in the human trade industry and she's from Afghanistan. And where I guess, I don't know, it seemed like if you can have a bunch of wives, I'm not sure. But anyways, she was looked at like property, and she was given to somebody because they had a debt. So they gave them to her, and then they used her. Once they had her, they used her to make money, so men could just pay to come in and have their way with her. And then there was a lot of violence because there's a lot of fucking angry weirdo guys, and it seems that sex and violence is goes together with them. And anyways, this was just some random movie out of the blue too, but just constant disclosure, because that's the world that we live in. And then keep them in prison. You know, they don't have a passport. They don't have, there's a language barrier. They're held captive in these homes, these rooms, and then they are mistreated. And so, anyways, that's, oh, and another thing that just keeps seeming to come to the surface is stuff about you know, over there in the real, in the blue people. And I saw somebody who was an ex-Mormon, and she was saying she's going back through the history stuff, and she said those were original Z's. If you don't know what a Z is, add on an ion to the end and then an ist. So, and they are our problem. I think a way back, a while ago, there was like the Gnostics, which I think I'm more in alignment with that. With the Z's, it seems like the good and evil were from a long time, but the Z's are like a disease, and they are like the, you know, Finkelstein, that rabbi. They're that kind of attitude, and I've seen more of these videos calling us Gorum. I don't know. It's this word that makes us sounds worse than garbage people. Yeah, it's very like look down on us. And they this lady was explaining how they created this market of being the original, the descendants of Judah, which is all a big fucking lie. And that's why you have the Christians who support them, because I don't know, it's just so much fuckery. And but see, all this stuff just keeps coming more and more and more out. But I don't know, maybe that's going to be a part of the Christian turnaround, is when they see what there really is going on. But I don't know. It still is weird, and it's still weird to watch all those mass people going in that direction still. It's like, it's just a misleading direction, because like I said, there's no soul out there just waiting to say that it's impossible. It's impossible. It's just not the way energy works. Like, can you imagine you turn on the lights are, oh, I'm going to turn that light on instead, so if you don't mind. It's like, it can't, that's just not how it works. There's like certain patterns of existence. You can't break the patterns of existence. You can't change what's real or solid or happens every time. And so, yeah, to think that you can go out and create a storm and then ask somebody else to go clean up your storm, it's like, that's just not how it works. And a more advanced soul would take responsibility for the storm they create to begin with. So that's why, you know, it keeps you held back. It keeps you from advancing. It keeps you enslaved to a system. So, I mean, it's got to break down somehow, but if it's what brings people to awakening to their soul, but it's going to have to evolve out of this, you know, like a God over you making decisions for you, and things are out of your control and all that stuff. It's just a lot of stuff that's misleading. So anyways, there's more things that have to break down, but there keeps being more and more stuff. I feel like there's like a flood of information coming in all the time, of stuff that is happening and helping people to see the truth. But anyway, so Charlie does have this big revival going all across the world of people coming together and mourning this situation. And I don't know what all, that they are mourning, if it's just the idea of somebody being killed, but really death isn't real. And it's just a transfer of energy into a different reality, into a different vibration. So you don't change, just the vibration you're in changes. So it's very misleading, the death, the concept that they teach us. It's very misleading. So anyways, that, but people get all caught up in it, in this sadness. And if it's, well, he's got little kids, well, he was a good guy, well, he was trying to help people, well, he was a Christian, well, all these different things. So everybody's got their own perspective of what they're tore up about. But anyways, I do think he was somebody who was trying to be a good person and trying to help people to, but his answer was Christ. And so, I think that's just misleading. So anyways, but still, he has this is the dog that poops in the house. Got your eyes on there, girl. What are you doing, Roxy? Why don't you just lay down? I don't know what the hell. You go outside, she just looks at you like, what are we supposed to do out here? It's like, maybe they just need pads for her. Just do pads. She just is like, just seeing her walk on the grass is like, ooh, what is this stuff? She's so timid and so sick. And then you try and get her to go potty and it's like, what are you talking about? What? Do what? And she's a grown-ass dog. I told her yesterday, didn't I? I said, you're a grown-ass dog. Yeah, we'll go out in a minute. Go lay down. She's sweet, but she's annoying. Because I don't know, it's weird. Being timid and being confident is a big difference. Stella's got a little overconfidence. But anyways, it's just real different because King, the husky, he's very sure of himself. And Stella's very sure of herself. Archie's very sure of himself. Max has a little tendency of being a little timid, but a little anxious. But Roxy's a whole nother level, man. So, anyways, I'm sure she hasn't gone poop in 2 days. So, I know she's got to go, but she's just like, no, I'm just gonna resist. I'm just gonna hold it. It's like, God, I'm glad they're gonna be back today. So, anyways, I think that when she goes out with her person, not my daughter, but the guy who raised her, I think that she does her business more with him. But geez, man, you're trying to be somebody different to go, and she's just like, oh, no, that's too embarrassing. I'll just do it in private somewhere on the floor. Like, dude. So, anyways, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of it is like, and him even saying something, there's some about, or maybe it was Erica saying it, that's all he would want with his death is to bring more people to Christ and all that. But it is getting people to go into the direction of compassion and caring, and to the point of seeing the depth, the importance of caring, which, people think of as Christ consciousness, but people got to get out of this concept of, Christ saving you and cleaning up your mess for you. That's on you. I mean, that's a great fantasy to think like, oh, I can just go down in hell and make a mess, and then Christ will come in and clean it up for me if I just call his name out. It's like, dude, that is a fairy tale. So, which I did see this guy after Charlie's incident, that he was talking to a Buddhist. I don't know if it was a monk or just a Buddhist, but one thing that the Buddhist guy said is something about people don't understand that when you when somebody takes you out, that you took them out, and then they take you out. It just goes back and forth, back and forth. What have I been saying for so long? People get themselves in these traps, and nothing can happen that's not meant to happen. Nobody, it's not just random. When somebody takes somebody out, it's part of your journey. It's not a random thing. We don't have to be like, oh, they could come and get me too. No, it's a set storyline. And it is these souls too. And there is, what was this one story thing I had seen? It was really weird. Man, it was really weird. But I'll hear like really weird story things with different families or whatever. And I'm always thinking like, what in the karma shit do you guys have going on? I can't remember what this one was. Oh, I remember. It was a documentary. I knew about the story a few years back, but this documentary, now it's on Netflix, about this family, the American Family Murder or something like that. And the dad they're Irish, and the dad marries the wife. They have 2 kids. Then she has an asthma attack and dies, and the kids are really little. So he's just being the dad, but he had to work and stuff all the time, so he had to get a nanny. So this woman in America, she was dating some guy, she got pregnant, had a miscarriage, and she decided she needed to go in a new direction. So she decided to become an au pair, and so she applied for his job, and she got that job. Well, right away, she fell in love with these kids, and she started kind of like pressuring him to be a couple with her. And so they end up becoming a couple. They end up getting married, and then she gets him to move over to North Carolina, where it seemed like everything was kind of going good, but there was some weird stuff about her. Like, she makes up like people who are pathological liars, they just make up weird stories. And I've known some pathological liars, and they just make up weird stories. And and so it seemed kind of like she had that thing, because like she was at a baby shower, and this lady, or she was at a party or something, and this woman walks in, and she just found out she was pregnant, and they said, and the people who were there said that all of a sudden this lady starts going on and on talking about the birth of her child, which she didn't give birth to him. She wasn't even there when the child was born. She was the au pair. And then she also, even when she came back and was getting married, her the maid of honor, she had a whole speech written out, and she hadn't met the other family, because the family was coming in from Ireland. And that's the cats. They got attitude too. And so she their family was coming in from Ireland, so they're chatting with all the different people. So the sisters chatting to the maid of honor, and the maid of honor is just like, oh, isn't it the sweetest thing how she was best friends with her, and then knew her in college, and then she died, and she was the godparent, so she went over there, and then they ended up falling in love. And the woman's like, what are you talking about? She was the au pair. She didn't know her. She never met her. And so she didn't, but she just make up these weird stories, these weird lies. But anyways, she started really putting pressure on him. Then she wanted to adopt the kids, because she wanted to leave him and take his kids. And so she was getting really mad that he wouldn't let her adopt him. Got her family involved in it too. And then she started telling people that he was abusing her. And there was a point where he was getting really frustrated, because I guess I don't know, she sounds kind of like she had borderline or histrionic personality disorder or something. Like she has some kind of personality disorder. And she, like the one little girl, when she decided, she asked if she could play t-ball, and the mom, this lady, said, why? Don't you love me? Don't you want to be with me all day? Why would you want to go do something like that? if you are doing that kind of stuff to your kids, work on yourself. Seriously. You got to work on, you should want your kids to go discover themselves and become, let them become good at stuff. Let them try different things and stuff. Don't hold them back. Like, you gotta be with me. You gotta make me feel good. And then, like, she would lose her mind or something, start tearing stuff up in their rooms. I don't know. It seemed like, she was driving the husband crazy. And then she decided she really wanted to divorce him. So she was just really trying to tell people that he was abusive. And so she put audio tape, she had tapes everywhere through the house where she was recording him, that she was going to try and use it in court. And he was already making plans. He wanted to leave. He was going to leave her and take the kids and just go back to Ireland. And so I don't know if she had a sense of this or she, whatever it was, but she, in the audio things, it would sound like, he was really mad, but she knew that she was being recorded. He didn't. So of course she's going to be playing, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. It's like, I don't think that that's how it really was there. I think that she would lose her mind because there was texts and stuff where he would talk to his friends or emails and stuff. Like, she's so crazy. And, because I don't know. I can just see the crazy side of the personality disorder for the person dealing with that. And so they'll twist you around and stuff. They get you confused. Everything's about them. It's like Huda in that show Love Island. She was such a perfect representative of personality disorder. She's kooky. But anyways, so she, this one night, they brutally murder her husband. So it's real weird because her dad comes to their house, and he said, oh, it was just a nice day, and my wife and I, was 4 hours away, we decided we'll just drive over and spend the night and hang out with them for the night. But his boss said that he canceled a very important meeting to go do that. I mean, he told the cops, well, had nothing going on, so I decided to drive over there. So he says he drove over there just to come visit. The daughter, so everybody's in bed at this point, and then there's a loud noise, which to me, it also seemed like it was a 2-story house, and the parents were down in the basement, but he said above him he heard all this noise and he heard screaming. So he takes off. Well, the mom, the grandma, she just rolled over and went back to sleep, which is another weird thing. So he goes upstairs, and the daughter, so the guy's dead, so he can't say anything what's going on. But the daughter and the dad start saying he's drunk and he is trying to this lady, and which, there was that one little mark right here, which it could have been, like if somebody's on top of you, you push them back or something, I don't know, because I wasn't in the room, but the room was, oh my God, it was a freaking mess. There was blood everywhere. And so they said he was drunk. Well, the toxicology report comes back. No, he wasn't. And then but he had trazodone in his system, but then they don't know, because it's her prescription. So they don't know if they put it in there, if she just planned on doing him in, and he woke up. And then the dad came up to help her because he knew what was going to go on. So he's ex-FBI. And so if he came to, like, he knew something was going, the plan was going awry when he heard the noise. So he takes off to run up there to help. And, which she had bricks in her bedroom. Bricks in her bedroom. Because she said that they were going to paint them. Okay, well, I think usually if we have bricks that we're going to paint with our kids, they would be in the kitchen or the living room. Why would we take them upstairs to our bedroom? We're gonna paint in our bedroom. Not likely. It's just I've got bullshit on this shit. And so she, and a baseball bat just happens to be sitting there. So dad runs in with a screaming, sees the husband going crazy, trying to hear his daughter. So he takes a bat and starts hitting him with this bat. And then the guy lets go of the daughter, and this is their story, turns on the dad. So she picks up the brick and just starts beating his head in with the brick. They said in the coroner report thing of the autopsy, like there was parts of his skull that were just out. Like it was freaking, they never seen so much damage to somebody's brain. They just kept beating him and beating him and beating him and beating him. And so I totally thought this is all for, so she wants these kids and he's not giving them, and she's not going to fucking risk losing the kids. I don't know what in the disorder she's got, but yeah, it's like wacky, man. And so they kill him. So the thing is, it's weird, is like these two kids, and it was this whole thing. Like a lot of stuff is, you know, these kids, and then she's trying to keep them. She gets the kids to lie to the cops and say the dad was abusive, which kids carry all this guilt now because now they're older and now they've seen evidence and stuff, and now they look at it way different, which the mom and the grandpa try and say that, well, they're brainwashed now because they're over there with his family, because they're back in Ireland. And so they were like 9 and 10 when they went back to Ireland. Now they're like 19 and 17 or 18 or something like that. And so, but they look at it much different because she had told them what to say when they were getting interviewed when they were little. And so then the son started feeling a lot of guilt about it a couple years later. And so he recanted all the stuff. And, but it's just like when I see some of these things with these soul, these karmic things, you know, their parents being killed, I don't know, the whole thing is like, wow, that is some crazy fucking, and that's the thing, is people don't realize, like, these are all storylines that just carry on and carry on. We just go in and play these parts. Then we leave this storyline, and we all leave at different times. It's not death. You don't just die or anything. You just leave that story at the timing is all exact. Then they leave that storyline and then go and do another storyline. And then you just replay them all in these different ways. And you're supposed to be learning and growing and evolving through all of these plays, playing out all these things. But a lot of people aren't here now because they're being misled. Like, they have no idea. So many people don't even believe in reincarnation. They think that sounds crazy. To me, it's like, it sounds crazy that you don't believe in it. You believe there's a guy up in the sky who's watching everybody making decisions for us. That sounds mental. But you don't believe in reincarnation, which would totally make sense. So weird. That's where I'm just like, man, people are just confused. It's like, how do you get that confused? It's like, it's weird. But anyways, but even those most craziest stories like that, it's just like, oh my gosh. And brutal. And a couple of people involved in it. I don't know. But that's the thing, is this is all just life after life after life after life. And so, yeah, I don't know. You know, in some other life, did he hold them prisoner and he beat them to death? Like, I don't know. That's the thing about, and you're not gonna remember all of your lives. You're gonna have, there's certain ones that you're here to work on. There's certain lessons that you're here to work on, and it just depends on what those are and the people you're with and the roles and stuff. But anyways, it's all set. It's destiny. It's a written story. In the so things can't happen to you that aren't meant to happen to you. And you're meant to go through whatever you go through, and then when you go through it, that's where you learn, and that's where you grow, and that's what changes you. But people are stubborn about But this is where the universe is stepping in. That's why I said it's like this completion. And the universe is stepping in to give a hand. And it's like a hand out to the dark, pulling you up out of the dark so you can get to the surface and you can see. But it still is up to you. You're still the one who has to do the work. You're still the one who has to save yourself. The universe can't save you. It can just put it on the big screen and give you direction. But it's still you who has to get yourself out of the mess that you've created. And your patterns and stuff all are developed through a lot of your soul's journey. So it's you're way bigger than this little life that you focus on. There's way more to you. And yeah, I just saw, you know, like when they show a little box, like a great big box, and then inside that box is another box, inside that box is another box, or the little Russian doll things. You know, the doll, and then inside that's another doll, inside that's another doll, inside that's another doll. That is like what you are. You're more of that. You're not just this one box. You're all these boxes inside. And so that's why you got to get into, I don't know, like a reevaluation of self, of really going and looking more into all the boxes, all the containers of you and everything that makes you up. It's not just this shiny surface. And that's the thing, is so many people in this realm, this time of existence, they're just looking at the shiny surface. They're not going in deeper. And they just get so focused on the shiny surface that they just, you know, they just got to change it. They got to get surgery. They got to, all the things that people do that is trying to change the surface that doesn't matter. When you really need to put your time into trying to get to the depth of who you are and why the things in your life are happening, and the what part or what control you have in the things that are happening in your life. Because a lot, what I've seen, a lot of it is patterns and stuff. You know, it seems to me that you develop certain patterns, but then the more awareness you become of the patterns, the more that you can change them. You can override the system. And so it's, yeah, it's kind of like an old car, and then you need to take the motor out, put a new motor in it. So you got to override the system. You got to change. It is like, yeah, it's like this metamorphosis is that you rewiring yourself. So you developing better patterns for yourself with your awareness and breaking out of your karmic debt, breaking out of these toxic kind of relationships. And that doesn't mean abandon everybody you have a toxic relationship with. That means to start standing in your truth. And there's a lot of them, you know, but you have to have boundaries and stuff. And you have to, yeah, you have to believe in yourself. You have to be vulnerable. But you have to realize that the things happening are to help you discover yourself, to help you redefine yourself, instead of it just like God is, you know, you're not in God's favor, you know, bad things happen to you because he's looking down on you, he's trying to teach you something or something. That's just, it's not how it works. You're trying to teach you something by your life experience, but you have to go in and be more, oh, gosh, lady. You have to be more direct in your approach, so you can make changes in your relationships by, I don't know, being more healthy and real and stuff. Like the things I notice are when people are trying to be accepted. That is such a big one, because what people will do to become accepted by others changes them from who they are, when you really want to be accepted for who you are. So you're not really ever being accepted when you're becoming something that they want you to be, and you're trying to be accepted by them. So it's a lot more risky and vulnerable to show who you really are. And then if people don't like it, then to just, let it go. Okay. You don't have to like me, but I have to be true to myself. I can't agree with things that I don't agree with. I can't be somebody I'm not, and just to please you. And that has been happening. People have been breaking free from groups and stuff like that because you have to recognize, your truth to what you stand for and stuff. So that is a big part of all these things that are going on, is to get people to really take notice of what they stand on. And I think that probably there's a lot of groups that are breaking down right now. People who were cheering over Charlie, and then starting to look around and go, ooh, that's not very good. What if this was my brother? What if this was my uncle? What if what if this was my dad? That's where you start gaining empathy and compassion, is being able to put yourself there and think like, how would I feel if this was a closer relation? How would I feel, and having more acceptance for people. And that's the thing too, is we need to accept people for who they are, especially when they are their truth. We shouldn't need people to adapt and become what we need them to be. That's the toxic thing right there. And then when you are like that and you need people to be a certain way, then that is where you need to go in and question yourself. This is the thing that I'm talking about, is so many people don't go in and question themselves and try and see themselves. They do it backwards. So when something bothers you, you need to try and figure out why. Why does this bother me? Why does them liking this bother me so much? What the hell does it have to do with me? And just figuring out how to allow people to have their own interests, to be themselves and stuff. And that's where we're going. I mean, I know some people are. Not everybody is going to be going towards that. This new earth, this new civilization that's being created. But I know in that civilization, it does have to do with acceptance, and that doesn't mean that we all become one and the same. We all become a bunch of droids, like what they're trying to turn us into. It is we can't become independent thinkers, and in our own sovereignty, and the freedom to be real, the freedom to be our truth, and then be accepted for who we are, because it's more valuable to be honest and real than it is to pretend to be something you're not. And so that's where the value will come in. That's where priorities change, and people are going to find the things that they value are going to change. And just like that's what's happening. That's like this rollout that is occurring for humanity. This progression is that going more towards this changing in our priorities and caring and compassion and stuff. So that is interesting to see, all these different things of people becoming more. I mean, even for all these people to be lining up and going to church, yeah, it kind of sucks that they are going still under the umbrella of control, but they at least they are becoming more inclined to be more connected to something deeper. So that is a step in the right direction. Even though to me it's like a step in the mud, because that can just hold you back. But things are going to keep on transitioning. I just don't know how it's all going to go. But I'll tell you something that's really weird. This is so weird. Which, there's people who could say, oh, well, it's AI. Oh, it's not real. It's not real. But the thing is even if this is AI and it's not real and it's made up somehow, that this is real. Like, this is real. Like, if you think like some of this stuff isn't real, then you're disconnected. Even if this in particular isn't, but it sure seems like it's real. So at the same time, this Charlie, which there was a whole bunch of incidents, which also I believe that, there's a lot of this talk, and I 100% believe in this new earth. There's not going to be any of these kinds of things. Nobody's going to need them. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to want to hurt each other. We're not going to be running around, I don't think we're going to be going out and killing animal. I think there's going to be a big change in how things are going to be. But right now, though, we have all these other occurrences with knives and I guess machete. I don't know what the fuck, how that guy's head was whacked off. But yeah, I some of the stuff I don't even believe is real anyway. But anyways, I think that they're trying to show more of the mental health and oh yeah, what was this? This is so fucking wacky, so fucking wacky. So CBS one of those morning shows or whatever. I don't even know who the hell, if it's one of the news people or somebody they were talking to or whatever. But some state, somewhere, they're trying to make it, well, if you're homeless or you're on drugs, then you just need to be taken out. We don't need you here. It's like, fuck off. Everybody, you are born free. You want to come and live as a drug addict and live in the streets, that's up to you. That's your lessons. That's your journey. These controlling people to keep saying that you can't live this way, you can't live that way. Bullshit. Bullshit. We can live any way that we come here to live. We come here to learn. We come here to grow. We come here to experience. And there's a lot of learning and growing and experience in all these different things. Being homeless, being a drug addict, all those things. So for them to sit there and say, like, you aren't worthy of society, this is the thing where they're just completely out of whack. And then for them to be able to go on the news and say that. So I don't even know what that whole thing is. But yeah, it's wacky. And you're going to sit there and say, like, or we're going to start putting an end to these people. We have the right to, you know, and even if there's going to be like a bunch of drug addicts or homeless people or whatever, they will go into their own reality. They'll go into a different reality. They're not going into the same one I'm going into, because the one I'm going into is people who want to evolve and go into this time of peace and love and this heaven on earth concept. And the only way to have heaven on earth is like if you accept everybody else. You can't just go in and everybody accept me, but I'm not accepting any of you. It's like a whole energy. And that energy is going to create a whole new place. So that's the one my journey is going towards. But everybody has the right to their own journey. Like, you can't tell somebody that their journey is not valid. Their soul figured it out for them. They don't need you to fucking figure anything out for them. It's between them and their soul, not between you. So it's just more of this controlling, more of these controllers deciding what is worthy and what's not worthy. What the fuck, man? So anyways, that's absurd. And but this other thing that's weird. So at the same time, this Charlie incident, but also this mental health thing. I think that's what they're trying to bring into the light a lot. But we have so many people with mental health problems. We have so many people on these medications, which I keep seeing this thing pop up on these different news stations about just what I have been saying about the water and the treatment plants. And you flush the toilet, and somehow circles back, comes back out your fucking faucet. And when it comes back out, that all these medications and stuff that these people are on, especially these ones that cross the blood-brain barrier, we're all getting them. We're all getting them through this stuff. So it's a big issue. And there's some sicknesses even they can't do anything about. There's a bunch of farm stuff that they can't do anything about because the treatment plants aren't getting rid of the stuff. So it's a problem in our society. Like, and then how much mix-up are we getting of all this shit, man? Fuck. God, it's annoying. So I think trying to really get people to realize about mental health and stuff, because when you connect into like the Holy Spirit, then you will find more peace when you start understanding the purpose behind life. But so those people, the struggle with their mental health are just kind of lost. But that doesn't mean there won't be a reality where they get to go be lost together to go find themselves. Like, there's going to be all sorts of realities that are going to break out of this one. But But some will be light and some will be dark. And so some people still stay in the dark to go work through their stuff because they're not ready to go into the light because they don't know how to end their own misery. They don't know how to take responsible for their own selves. And that's the part that frustrates me about religion and the misleading people. But anyways, I've said that a bunch of times. But anyways, so, but I think they're really trying to bring it to the surface to really get us to recognize, like, it doesn't have a difference about this. Yeah, we shouldn't need so many of these. We shouldn't just be out, ready to kill each other all the time. But they can use an assortment of things. I mean, we got people driving their cars through crowds. We got people who are, they create BOMBs and knives used in different things, and not besides cutting up food, and all these weapons. I mean, it's not just one. There's lots. And yeah, you can go get these ones, easy access, and do a lot of damage real quick. But there's more, I think, right now of just trying to bring all these things to the surface so that we start recognizing these things. And mental health is a big one. And there's lots of people struggling. And the reason they struggle is because they're lost. And so in order to get to, a happy, serene world, then that's going to improve people's mental health. Okay. And the thing is, too, that they create these diagnoses and these labels, and people are trying to figure out who and what they are, so they just hang on to these labels and diagnoses. And all that stuff you gotta let go of. You gotta let go of all that fucking shit. So, anyways, but the weird thing is, so around the same time that Charlie, the incident, then, so in Panama, this guy, and he speaks Spanish, but there's translations going around of what he's saying. But, so he goes out in his yard, and at first I thought it was out in a field and he was out walking around because he does a lot of like nature videos and stuff. But then somebody said no, it was in his yard. So I don't know. I don't know all the story, but there's tons of videos you can go find. So he goes out and he finds a meteorite or something that's down. And so it's down on the ground and it's made a hole and there's like smoke. And so he picks it up and takes it home, which, watch some more scary movies. Oh my god, damn. Oh my god, I just can't even. Some of this stuff is like, I've seen way too many scary. Even the one, what was this one? Because I was just, The Blob. I think it's The Blob. I think it came in that same way. So anyways, pick up this meteorite, takes it home, and then it turned silver. So first thing it did is it turned a different color. And then it started growing something. So something started growing on it. So he's doing videos this whole time showing this. So he showed himself finding this meteorite. He showed himself taking this thing home. And he's got it in his motherfucking kitchen. So this stuff is so wacky, man. I just can't even believe it. So, so he's got this thing in his kitchen. And he's got this glass lid over it. Roxy, get out of there. I'm gonna have to wrap this up. We'll go in just a minute. And so anyways, so he brings this thing into his house and it starts growing something. And so it's got these tentacles growing. It looks kind of like octopus tentacles growing out of this thing. And so then, don't knock my thing over. And then, but it's more than that. It's like this whole growth thing growing, but these things move. They're moving and stuff. This thing is alive. Then it separates itself off of this egg thing, separates itself. So it becomes separate and then it's growing. And it's got tentacles and all this stuff. So then some scientists, which I can't believe that they haven't come into his house and taken it, but the last video I saw where he said that there is starting to be people that he thinks are trying to get into his house or something. Because this is the kind of stuff that the organizations would do. is take that shit and take it into a lab somewhere, and then they'll grow it, and then they'll turn it into a master monster to come after us. But so it's got these tentacles and stuff. So he's touching this shit, cuts off some tentacles. He's got all these things he's sending out to these different scientists that want to examine it and stuff. And it just grows more tentacles. It grows them back. And then, and he said there's something about, it seems like it's growing, I don't know, like some kind of poison or something. I don't remember what, they didn't say poison, but some kind of stuff is coming out of it. But he keeps touching it. It's in his kitchen. It's huge now. It's like big, and it moves, and oh, it's so fucking creepy. God damn, I just can't even fucking believe he's got it in his kitchen. And he touches it. The other day, he lifts the lid, so he's got this round lid that's glass over it, like a cake thing, like. And so he takes it off. It's in there just moving around, which also there's the homunculus, like that fucking creepy ass shit, if you don't know about that, where the guy decided that he's gonna Dr. Frankenstein shit too. So he's just gonna take his own sperm and he's gonna mix it with an egg and he's gonna fertilize it. Well, he grew something. He grew a creature. And that's the homunculus. You can go look that up on YouTube. He's been documenting his creature as well. So so with this creature, so he lifts off the lid and his little dogs are down there running around. I was thinking, man, you should probably not even be breathing the air, you know. And there's this thing, and they said too that this thing hasn't eaten. It has no, it hasn't been watered, nothing. And the only thing it's had is sun, and I think the sun has made it grow. But there's tons of videos on this, so it could be somebody saying that that's just what they think, and then plus it's all being translated because the guy is in Panama. And but anyways, so this creature thing is growing in his kitchen, and he, like, I don't know, I was like, God, you come home one day and it's out of the cage and it's eating your dogs. It's taking up, it's huge in your house now. It's gonna eat you. Like, oh my God, it's so creepy. But I don't know. I don't know what it is growing, but it's weird how it's got tentacles. So it is it gonna grow out and have big teeth like Alien, or teeth inside of other teeth inside of other teeth? I don't know. But I would hell no have that thing. Like if you wanted to monitor it, at least I would have a hazmat suit. I would have it out in the garage. I don't know. Find a lab somewhere. I don't know. The whole thing's so weird, but that's the times we're in. A lot of weird shit. And so, anyways, but go look it up. I know they're on TikTok, so imagine that there's people talking about on you. I'm sure you can find out on different platforms. So I don't know where all. And then there's translations too of the guy, what he's saying. But I don't know. It seems like to me that the government's going to go out there and take this thing. Which, again, if the government gets its hands on it, it's going to fucking take it in a lab and grow it on purpose and turn it into a monster, come eat us all. That's what they do. So, anyways, and I swear to God, I still feel like they sprayed sickness on us or something. I just cannot even fucking fathom how in the world, like, you're in an airplane, the people are sitting facing up there, there's people behind you, but there's this chair. It's like, I don't know. I don't get it. It makes more sense to me that they're spraying us with something. Or, I have no idea. I don't even know. I just wish things would go faster for this changing things. And I don't know. There's so much weird shit. So, anyways, all the weird shit going on. And I'm sure today's going to be more weird shit. And then I'm sure Monday's going to roll into a lot of weird shit. And then I think TikTok, I think this is the weekend TikTok changes. Because supposedly we're not going to have the other TikTok. We're only going to have the American TikTok or something. You know, I know this morning, even when I went on there, it's just like my whole algorithm is just like the people selling shit. God, I'm so sick of people just everybody. But I have bought a bunch of stuff too. So I got those oregano black cedar pills. So I haven't bought it. But it's annoying. It's like You gotta be like ready to spend some money. You're gonna go on there. There's like this. There's always something. Which I did buy. I did buy a set. I haven't got to see them yet. They got delivered, but I haven't seen them yet. But a set of 3 cast iron pans for $26. It was marked down from 75 for 26. That's such a bargain. I can't believe it. And in the reviews, everybody's like, oh yeah, they're really good. These are really heavy duty pans and stuff. So I was like, man, I don't know, but 26 bucks. But 26 bucks if they're really cast iron pans, that is phenomenal. So anyways, I might have myself a nice new set of cast iron pans. But anyways, I have been doing a lot of shopping. Oh man, and I do need to order Ruthie's harness. I got to get prepared for that because this is coming. Everything's coming quick, and then it seems like right now that I've changed my my moving thing. So this week when I get back, I'm not going to be working. I'm just going to go and revitalize myself. Then next week I'll be working at the groomer place. Then the next week, there's some grooming appointments. Then the next week is when I go pick up Ruthie. And then when I'm there, there's appointments to the groomer, but I'm gonna see about if she can change those ones, because when I'm there, my brother and I are gonna put in a fence. And my brother's so cool too. He's like all by the post, and you just buy the wire. It's because he wants to put in these certain posts. And so he's gonna get the post, and he's got this big plan and making this big fence, but we're gonna do it in sections. So we're gonna do one section, then we'll do another section. But so that's what I'm gonna do when I'm there, so that I'm prepared when the dogs come. Because this fucking bullshit happening about get up, go put them on a leash, go walk on, it's hellacious. And then plus I had to get him booties. This was the funniest fucking thing. It was so there's some kind of thorns there, these big thorn burr things. And every time you step down, you step on them. And my brother said they're some kind of plant, and they're just like, I don't know, there's a whole thing of having to get rid of them and stuff. And he had no idea, and they spread a lot. So there's tons of these thorns. And so they said, you got to get your dog these booties. So I got all the dogs these booties. It is the funniest fucking thing. So Stella, she's smart, and she's older, so I can talk to her, rationalize with her. And so she put her booties on, she let me put them all on, and then I told her to get up and walk around, and she got up and she walked around, and she's like, she's doing okay. And Archie, God, oh my God, he let me put him on him, but he was trying to walk on his 2 front paws with his legs sticking up. So he's like trying to walk on these 2 with his legs sticking straight up. So it looks like somebody walking on their hands. He's so freaked out by him. But my sister-in-law said they get more used to him. And so, in which they're good for the cold weather or too hot a weather. And then plus it keeps them from being on the thorns and burrs and stuff to go in their feet. But then Max, he's like, hell no. God, he's such a little bitch. So he was like, fuck you. He wouldn't even let me put him on him. He's going crazy trying to bite me. So but I did see I needed to get him a different size. So I ordered another size, and I also ordered him a muzzle. So I put a muzzle on him to put his booties on. So when I get there tomorrow in the afternoon, I'm going to have to get all their little booties on them. But that would be another thing too, in the middle of the night. So I'm going to just, the yard that we do, I'm going to just get it cleaned up from as much burrs and stuff as I can, and then have them their own little thing, so I can just open the door, then go out and go potty, come back in, or just go outside, because they don't like to go outside. But then, and my brother said that it's a long ways to somebody else's property, so they can go out there and run around and they'll be fine. And then he's also, the Idaho is giving them an owl. So there's gonna be an owl out there to eat the gophers, because that's how because he's overrun with gophers. And so that's the solution there, is we put an owl on your property. He said, but it's a pretty small owl. He said it's definitely not an owl that could pick up the dog, especially Max and these 2. Or my mom's got some dogs that could get picked up by a bird, but I don't think these 2. And I don't think the fox would mess with them. Even the fox over in my mom's neighborhood was seen on ring cam out walking with the dog, just trolling along. So I don't think they're too vicious towards other dogs. once I get chickens and stuff though, and I want to get a goat, there's things I want to get. I'm not going to rush real quick and get them, but we'll see how things, play out. But but anyways, the extra pair of booties. So I've already got Ruthie a pair of booties. So now I got to get her a harness. I've already got her a leash. So I've got the stuff. But anyway, so that week I'm going to go pick her up. And then there will be another week where I'm going to get everything packed. I'm going to get everything down to the storage. And then I'm going to, most of my stuff is packed because it's been in storage this time. And then the end of the month. So at the end of October, it's the weekend of like the 26th, is when I'm getting the truck, and then gonna move all the stuff, then drive back to get the dogs. So the dogs aren't gonna go with me on that move. I'll just have my mom watch them, and then I'll come back, get the dogs, and then so by the end of October, like by the 29th or 30th, I should be at that place. Tomorrow morning, they're gonna all be here, so I'm not gonna be able to record. But I was thinking when I get to the property in Idaho tomorrow, so I'm gonna get up in the morning, drive there. So I'll get there sometime in the afternoon, early afternoon, probably around 12 to 1 or something. When I get out there, I was thinking I will do a video, but I'll just kind of like show the land and stuff, show the river. I probably won't go sit up because my sister-in-law's not gonna be there yet to open up the place. So I was thinking I'll just go outside with the dogs after I get their booties on and walk around, and I wish I brought my freaking stick one, but this, so I might just have to hold my phone. I don't know, I might be able to figure out how to walk around to hold it. I don't know, but somehow I'll show the property, and then I'll just talk about whatever's going on then. But probably won't be super long. And then in the morning, on Tuesday morning, I'll be at that place by myself, so I'll probably record and talk about whatever is going on. And then Tuesday night, or Tuesday in the morning, head back to Spokane. And then I'll be there for the rest of the week, so things will get more back to regular. But anyway, so tomorrow morning I won't record first thing, but I will once I get there. I'll show you guys show you the river and stuff. I'll show you the property. But she said that it's pretty overgrown to get to the river, that there's a lot of brush I'd have to walk through. So we'll see. We'll see what, because I would think Stella would just go barreling through it, but I don't know if that's going to get burrs. I have no idea. I have no idea what it's going to look like or anything out here. There's parts of Idaho kind of deserty, and then other parts are real tons of trees. Like there's a part in northern Idaho, it looks like a fairyland. It's big old trees, and I swear to God, you just feel like fairies are around every corner. Bigfoot's over there, it's really cool. So I have no idea what this part's going to be like. He did show me a picture of him and my brother and my sister-in-law out like going and exploring and stuff, and found a cool waterfall. He said that's what they like to do. They don't just want no drama. They just want to go out and have fun and experience stuff, because they're both retiring now to go there. So anyway, I'll be surprised. I won't be surprised if my sister-in-law doesn't just start working remotely from home for a while, even when she moves, even if she's not in that office. So anyways, I guess that's, oh yeah, let's just look at this too. I'm really curious about this hair back here. Like, I hope it's not just breaking. Hopefully it's new growth, but I don't know. But this, if it's pumpkin seed oil pills, that's the ones I'm trying to see what the difference is now. But I still have all that other stuff. Like, man, I don't know. I don't know. They're trying to poison us and kill us. I do know that. Fuckers. Make it hard. It's like they want us to be here and be miserable. That's what they feed off of, or misery. So that's why you gotta make yourself happy. You gotta just laugh it off. So, and then this thing. I think it's looking better. And I still don't know about these. I don't know. I kind of feel like it's kind of getting lighter, but I still haven't had time to look up what this stuff is. I know I had seen it as something about snail stuff, so I don't know. Could have something that's like chemical that I don't know mixed in with the naturals. I don't know. I'm so fucking. There's so many things that they say, oh, this is good for you, and then it's not. So I don't know. It's just annoying, and it's just draining, especially when you don't feel good. So, anyways, we'll see what this day brings. I'm sure it's gonna bring drama. No telling what's coming. I swear to God. It's, who thought like they're gonna do this incident at this situation? Who saw the Charlie incident coming? Like some of the stuff just is like the bus thing, the head chopping, any of this stuff. I mean, I know there's gonna be lots of drama, but it can be anything. Anything can happen, and it probably will. So be prepared for anything. And I mean, we could have a mothership lane today. Who knows? Anything can happen. This A1 Alpha or a land, whatever it is, the ship that's supposedly coming in to our reality, our realm. So we'll see. Anything can happen. Just keep on and keep remembering. You know, it's a big show. It's a big show, and it's to try and get people to realize life isn't what they think it is, and to get their priorities straight, and to look at life in a different way. So, anyways, that's what I gotta say about it. So, just remember, though, I'm telling you, well, it just depends on where you want to go, which it's inside of you. So it isn't really where you want to go, because there could be people who are here not to go, but they want to go, but they just can't seem to get there because it's not in their storyline. But because your soul knows where it is you're going. And so, but it still is a good thing to learn how to love yourself. Like, you can't go wrong. Learn how to love yourself and learn how to love everybody else and how to have the day you want. Just no matter what, no matter where you're going, those are good things to do. So anyways, but we'll talk about it again later. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.